Okay, so if you actually have been following my channel, which nobody does because I don't blame them, you kind of have realized that I have released rant videos where you can't see my face and the mic is shit. Well, bitch, it's currently, fuck, what time is it? 3:04 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I was listening to some ASMR, like I do, and I had ran into this, couple one, and then I realized something very interesting about my family. So, just to get it out there, I identify as a transgender, non-binary, pansexual human. That's what I am. And when I came out, it was very interesting because my parents didn't reject me or anything, at least not when I came out as pansexual. The whole entire gender thing is a different story. But when I came out actually originally I came out as bi because I didn't know that there was a difference, and then I learned that there was a difference and I realized I was pan. Cool, whatever. When I told my mom that I was bi, she literally said, "Cool, now what do you want on your pizza?" So obviously I don't live in a homophobic house. Now granted, coming out to my dad was a little bit different. He said that I was too young to know what I wanted, even though I was 13 years old, and raging hormones started happening, so of course I knew that being sexually attractive to women and men was a little bit odd. Well, not odd, but like I wasn't straight. but yeah, so so he told me hey, you don't know what you are, you don't know what you want, you're too young. And then I put out a rant on Facebook and he apologized and whatever. When I came out as non-binary though, because I was still using she, her pronouns. If you don't know, I have a vagina. So when I came out to them as non-binary, that was a different story though. My mom asked what the fuck it was, and still to this day has no idea what the hell it is, and my dad just kinda, what's his exact words? "You have been my daughter for 16 years. I'm not gonna change that now." Grrr! Now, granted, his wife-to-be was totally chill about it when she found out that I was part of the LGBTQ community. When she was completely fine with it, and she believes in that there's more than two genders, and, everything's cool with me and her. She gets me. Seriously, this woman is an amazing person, and I'm so happy that my dad's marrying her here in August. I think it's currently June. Yeah, it's June. I just turned 17 years old, so yeah. But yeah. So me coming out was very interesting. Not for the reasons that most people do, because mine was more of a semi-rejection from one family, but didn't want to kick me out or be a dick, but didn't understand, and I was trying to beat out the old, I'm constantly trying to get new age thinking into old minds, basically, so it's kind of hard, not gonna lie. And honestly, I don't blame them. I mean, they, them pronouns, I use they, them pronouns, don't get me wrong, because she, her, he, him, nope. It's praise you for trying to reclaim that pronoun. My ass can't do that. I feel like I'm an object anytime somebody calls me that, and it makes me feel like shit. But praise to you if you can actually do that, because fuck, you're fighting a fight that I can't even touch right now. Anyways, that was a left turn. So, I've never, and I guess this is a good thing because it means that we're bringing in a new age of love, I guess is a good way to put it. Because I've never gone through something where it's like, I'm not allowed in the house, I've been kicked out on the street, or anything like that. Like, have I dealt with homophobia and transphobia? Oh, yeah. But has it been from my direct family? Not really. I mean, other than my grandfather to this day does not need to know that I'm trans. Especially non-binary. He's very much, oh, there's male, female, and then hermaphrodite. If you don't know what hermaphrodite is, like, Google it. It's honestly like a non-binary person's wet dream. They have both. It's awesome. Anyways, I went on a rant again. Granted, it's can't sleep rant time. I need to come up with like a catchy tune for that. Yeah, I'm gonna totally look back on this YouTube video and cringe. But hey, nobody ever said I was sane. But no, like I never went through anything that was like overly hard. Like the worst thing it was like trying to come out to my dad and trying to get my dad to understand like I'm non-binary. I'm not a girl, and granted, I'm not a boy either. But you know, slowly but surely, we're getting there. But again, like he never said like, oh, don't ever show up to my house again. He never threatened my life. I've never been hit other than when I was like 4 years old and I decided to eat drywall. But that's a story for a different time. Maybe I should do like one of those like draw my life tags, but like I'm not relevant enough to do that. Like this is just basically like a weird voice diary thing that probably nobody's ever gonna watch. Although, granted, can you imagine? Anyways. But no, so like, you know, like I've dealt with it from like the public, like going to Cinco de Mayo and having people say like, oh, the gays are gonna send us all to hell. That was interesting. Or like, you know, being dragged to church, but that wasn't like my dad sending them out or anything. That was just because the community's kind of a dick. But like the only person who is truly, who I'm truly terrified of finding out who is my direct family is my grandfather, and that's just because he's an old fuck. Who we all have that one person in our family who like is an asshole, right? Like, don't get me wrong, I love my grandfather, but holy fucking shit, like, he needs to, like, stay off of Fox News. That's all they watch up there, too, so it's like, their heads are full of propaganda, like, my dad is a climate change denier. Is that something I should be admitting on the internet? It's not like he knows what my channel name is. But no, like, last year, when I really started to experiment, yeah, let's put it that way. Like, when I go to one of the best LGBTQ-friendly schools in America, and it is amazing, which, I could do an entire video just ranting about that school, because, like, there's goods and bads. But, like, you know, it's a real support system, so, like, you know, I don't use my birth name there, you know, they are changing things up so that it's, you know, I can be comfortable with me, which is great. But, on the other hand, our GSA is shit. So, like, we held a drag show, and agree or disagree all you want. Like, if anybody actually does listen to this, like, let me know in the comment section below, like, what your thoughts are with this. But, so we held a drag show, and, you know, I'm having issues with the person who was running our GSA. Like, I had to quit GSA, like, towards the end of the year, because I just couldn't deal with the person anymore. And, we were holding a drag show, and they straight up banned anybody who was straight from showing up. And that's not what I believe equality is. Like, first off, and correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't drag started by, like, straight men? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I could be completely fucking wrong about that. But wasn't it? someone told me that once. It could be completely false. I haven't really looked into it. Drag's not really my scene, other than this year I was trying it out and whatever. But we were holding a drag show. They banned, certain people because they didn't want it to be offensive or whatever. Which, cool, whatever. I mean, I disagreed with it, but I'm not the leader of GSA. I don't get to make the rules. Anyways, so, that happened, and it was a drag show. I was in the drag show, and my date mate, who's an amazing person, who, they're just a good person. I don't know how else to put it. Was there, and this person decided to not go in the room while my date mate was in the room with me. So I had to kick my date mate out of the room so that the GSA leader would go in there and help someone with their wig. And that what happened in between them in their past is their business. I'm not going to drag it in there, but I will say that it fucking pissed me the fuck off because my date mate was sitting in the hallway crying because I had to kick them out of the room so that the GSA leader would go in there and do what the hell are their pronouns? Do his fucking job. Sorry, they changed their pronouns 4 times this year and I couldn't keep up. Right? And, so that fucking pissed me off. And, so my GSA at my school is not great, but, other than that, I have a pretty good support system, and, I'm going back to, camp this year, and if you don't know what camp it is, who would? I mean, it's not like I've ever mentioned it before, because I have, one YouTube video on my channel right now. It's Camp True Colors, ran by One Heartland. I go to the one in Willow River, Minnesota, and it is a beautiful, beautiful camp. It's $25 to go. You get to go there for 5 days and be gay or be trans. Just be yourself. They have sexual health courses. If you're transgender, as long as you're wearing your chest binder in the pool, you can swim in your shorts or whatever. They're really, really open and nice about it, and everybody will have your back at camp. It's amazing. So yeah, if I remember to, I'll link it in the description, and if I can figure that out. Otherwise, it's One Heartland, Camp True Colors, and you can just Google that, and it will pop up. And it's for anybody in between the ages of 12 to 18. Of course, they have the cabins are separated by masculine, feminine, or non, and then by ages. So there's not an 18-year-old with a 12-year-old in a cabin. Does that make sense? I don't know. But yeah, it's great. So anyways, back to the point of this video. I was listening to this ASMR, and it was a significant other who was pretending to comfort someone who had an extremely homophobic family. In the story, they were a lesbian, they went to a Christmas holiday or whatever and came out and ended up getting kicked out the next day because I came out as to them. And I realized while I was listening to this, this isn't my life. I caught myself laughing in the video, which I had to stop and actually go on this rant, because it's wait, why did I laugh at that? It's not my life. This is something that people actually go through. And, it kind of fucked with my mind a little bit, because it's I'm so lucky to have the support system I do, and I don't know what I would do without them. If I had been 13 years old and my family had rejected me and kicked me out, fuck, what would life be? So I'm so happy that my parents were just mostly open-minded about everything and are like, yeah, sure, that's cool. And the only time they ask me to change something is when they're worried about my safety. Like, they don't like it when I wear my pride pins or anything unless I'm going to a pride event, because they're afraid of people harassing or jumping me, which has happened before when I was wearing pride pins, and why I don't really wear them. Because I just like to stay away from the drama. Like, I use my birth name at work so that I avoid drama. But yeah, so that really opened up my eyes, and it was like, you know, I've dealt with homophobic people, but it's nobody who I see like on a day-to-day basis. It's always like an asshole on the bus, or, you know, a friend of a friend, or the one person who I am close with that I could label as homophobic is my coworker, and I didn't even know that they were homophobic until I mentioned the fact that I was gay, which resulted in a very awkward conversation. So we just agreed not to talk about sexuality or relationships so that we can avoid that, because otherwise we're good friends, which is, again, a strange thing. Like, I'm friends with someone who literally thinks I'm going to hell. Even though I don't believe in it. I just don't believe that the creator of the earth, or the creators of the earth, would damn someone to hell based off of love. It doesn't make sense to me. And I could rant on about religion too, but I think that's going to be a rant for another night after I run into something else that will make me rant about that. But yeah, so how long is this video? It's only 17 minutes. Okay. And I guess I'll just end with, if you guys are going through a hard time, and if you're part of the LGBTQ community, reach out to someone on the internet. You know, you are welcome to reach out to me on YouTube. You know, I obviously don't sleep very often unless I'm taking meds. But if you want to reach out to me, you know, feel free, or reach out to someone else. Just be safe, be chill, be gay. And love yourself, okay? Like, if your family's treating you like an animal and is acting like you're the spawn of Satan or something, like, don't let them do that to you. Don't let them drag you down. If you're stuck in that situation and they, like, aren't kicking you out, well, you know, there is still resources out there. Like, if all else fails, like, fuck, drag human resources into it, unless you're in one of the states that would be a bad idea. There is some states, like, I think it's like, I don't know, I'm not gonna name state names because I don't want that state to come after me like, you think we're evil, right? But yeah, and if you're feeling like, just, if you're feeling down and out and you don't think your family is gonna accept you for who you are, even if you haven't come out, I would say don't go nuts. But if you need something more serious, like, I'm going to upload a video tomorrow where I'm going to basically have a coming out video for you. So you can share that with them and have me explain it to them. Because, yeah, there's no face to this channel right now, which is a good thing, because trust me, I kind of look like a cow. But, you know, it's someone who's rational, and mostly, like, again, I don't understand fully. Okay, let me fix that. I don't understand how parents can treat their children like that. And maybe it's because you could say that I had a pretty sheltered, that's a bad way to put that, but, like, very accepting family, and, like, I didn't have to deal with, like, the rejection, and even when I did have to deal with the rejection, it was very short-lived. Like, I don't see how a parent can, you know, completely hate their kid just simply because they came out as gay or as trans or as whatever you are, your beautiful gay rainbow self. Like, I love you for you, dude. Like, and we all got your back, so don't worry about it. And if you guys are interested in that video, like, let me know, because I will definitely make one, even though there's, like, nobody watching my YouTube videos right now. But I'm sure someone eventually will stumble upon this channel, especially if I keep on doing nightly rants, but it's just, like, a black screen. Maybe I'll get a graphic or something eventually. Anyways, I'm gonna end this rant, because it's going on 20 minutes long. And I will talk to you guys next time. Okay. Love y'all. Bye.